Good evening, Facebook family and friends. My name is Chef Inderpal. You kind of see that I'm pretty excited at the moment. Going to be taking a break from baking and pastry. Did it all last week. I'm pretty excited. Going to start cooking. Back to savory. Something that I always love to do as well. Trying to make this quick. We're trying to do basically meals under, say, 20 minutes. So I'm going to show you what we have prepped, what we have everything ready to go. And like I said, it's a little challenge. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our oven on. Convection oven, I'm going to basically set this to 375. If you don't have a convection oven, regular oven is going to be 400 degrees. But like I said, convection oven is 375, regular oven is 400 degrees. Tonight's menu is basically going to be some pepper jack polenta with some fresh corn. We're going to attempt to do chicken roulades with creamed spinach and some roasted garlic. Go through all the ingredients with you. In this basically saucepan, I have 1.5 cups of chicken stock, 1 tablespoon of butter. This item we will turn on right now to a high heat. We have 1/2 cup of instant polenta or instant cornmeal. We have about 2 tablespoons of freshly grated pepper jack cheese and 1/2 tablespoon of dried parsley. And we have 1 tablespoon of freshly canned corn. This is going to be for the polenta. Good question, Jocelyn. We're basically making pepper jack polenta and chicken roulade. Chicken roulade is going to consist of creamed spinach and roasted garlic. Into the chicken is going to be 1/2 ounce of cream cheese, 1 tablespoon of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, 1 tablespoon of sharp cheddar cheese, 1 tablespoon of pepper jack cheese as well. Cracked pepper, salt to taste. This is a seasoning for the chicken. The seasoning that I actually make my own. This is a smoked Cajun seasoning with fresh lemon peels in it as well. Some spinach. We have 1 baby bella mushroom, garlic, and capers. Like I said, the polenta is already on. Trying to get this meal going in 20 minutes. So in order to start a roulade, you need to basically undo your chicken or unfold your chicken. The easiest way to do that is basically find the side of the chicken. We're only going to be using 1 piece of chicken, but I'm going to be demonstrating 2 pieces. So the easiest way to do it is find the side of the chicken where it looks like basically like a book cover, or basically like a straight down line, how it looks these 2 ways. Always start with a sharp knife. Like I said, to open this chicken, you want to kind of see where it has a straight line going downwards. That's the side where you want to open the chicken on. Good question, Chef John. My spice mix that I have, this one lasts almost about 6 months. It mostly consists of smoked paprika, sea salt, fresh cracked pepper, a little bit of celery salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and then there's fresh dehydrated lemon peels that are in here as well. If you can see it. So the pieces of chicken that are like these right here, we're going to take these pieces off. Keep this for your stock or basically a base. I'm going to trim the chicken. Now the book is right here. What you want to do is hold a knife halfway in between the chicken. You're going to have 1 hand down, pressing the chicken, and with the knife you start making an incision. You're going to open it till it's basically halfway opened. Flip it over. The thick part right here. Small incision. Open it back up. Take this chicken, we're going to set it aside. Next piece, exact same thing. The book side is this way, which is a straight line. Take your hand, press it down, find the halfway point of the chicken, right in half. Open it up, take it again, hold it, incision. Thick part again. Opened. Like I said, we're making chicken roulades. The easiest way to do a roulade is you want to have your chicken flattened out as much as you can. So what we're going to do next, we're going to take the cutting board, plastic wrap. Take your piece of chicken, salt, pepper, a little bit of canola oil, spread it around. Take your plastic wrap, loosely cover this. Chef, great question about food safety with chicken. As you can see, everything that we're working with that's around the chicken is all basically away from the chicken in separate containers. As I work with the chicken, I also have some hand sanitizer that I've been using to basically go back and forth as well. Chicken is a very, very dangerous product. You want to make sure you're very careful. You're going to basically take a meat mallet. If you don't have a meat mallet, you can take a butt end of basically a sauteing pan. You can take basically the back of a mortar pestle. You can take a back of a bowl. You basically just want to lightly open up your chicken. The way you want to hit a chicken is not going up and down, but going away from the chicken as well. So once you basically have spread your chicken open, which is now looking like this way, flip it over. A little black pepper. A little bit of salt, a little bit of canola oil. Same thing, gently rub this. Take this, so we flip it back. And we're gonna let the chicken rest here now. Now, turn this guy back to the heat that it needs to be on. The key to a very good polenta is once you have it starting to come to a boil, you want to add your polenta into the pot, but not all at once. Everything at a stir. If you don't stir it while you're adding it, you're going to end up with a very lumpy polenta, and it's not going to be a very good polenta at all. You want a nice, smooth, lump-free polenta. Like I said, add and you stir. I'll do it with my left hand, even though I'm right-handed. So, see how I'm doing this? But you gotta do it fast. Keep adding your polenta till you see a nice thickness to it. Lower your heat down to a simmer. Pull away from the heat. If you feel like it's too thick, always keep a backup of chicken stock or any kind of liquid there is. Anytime, Chef John, thank you. To reintroduce and basically rehydrate this, you want to add some fresh corn. Like I said, this is canned corn. Very economical, $1 for a whole can. You've introduced basically more moisture. Mix around. And we're going to set this pan aside. Bring in this pan now. We're going to take this pan. We're going to leave it on a simmer next to this stove. In this pan right here, we're going to get this to a very high heat. As this pan gets hot, add a little bit of canola oil. You know when the pan is hot, when the oil is running extremely fast. It's still lagging at the current moment. Let this get hot. Even though the polenta is on the other side of the stove, always keep an eye on it though. Keep stirring it a little bit so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Check the liquid. If you feel like it's too thick, take your backup chicken stock, add it in there slowly and gently stirring it. Once this has come to a nice high heat, Add your garlic. We're adding some capers. And some mushrooms. 1 mushroom, half a tablespoon of capers, and half a tablespoon of freshly minced garlic. You want to cook this till the mushrooms basically become sweat. When I mean sweat, mushrooms hold a lot of water retention. You want to keep cooking these mushrooms till they basically release the water. You hear all the sizzling noise, right? That's such a beautiful noise that's releasing right now at the current moment. Once the mushrooms have had this nice kind of caramelization color to it, turn the heat off, add your spinach. You do not want to cook your spinach too long, otherwise your spinach will wilt. You don't want to give it that wilt look. You just want to cook it enough to where it basically has a nice foldable texture to it and it's basically pliable. Perfect timing. Oven is heated. Right there. That's all what you're looking for. You notice I have not added any salt or pepper to this. Reason being is because we've added capers. Capers contain a lot of salt, so you want to be basically very careful on your salt content. So like I said, the heat is turned off. Now you want to take your cream cheese. Fold in your cream cheese. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the heat is turned off. 1 tablespoon of freshly grated Parmesan Reggiano, 1 tablespoon of pepper jack cheese, 1 tablespoon of cheddar cheese. All mixed in. Give it a quick mix. Take your basically cream mix out. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, right there and there. Turn this light off so it's a better kind of color for you guys. But right there is what we're looking for. In this pan, let this pan basically stay hot. We're gonna add we have some leftover vegetables that are basically kind of going bad. Great way basically to make stock. Great way to basically enhance the flavor that I'm looking for in this dish. So I'm gonna add basically all these vegetables that are kind of going bad to make a stock, a vegetable / chicken stock on here. Those pieces of raw chicken that I cut off the earlier chicken, we're gonna add that to this. Add a little bit of water. And let this basically go at a nice medium heat while we work with the chicken. This style of cooking that we're gonna be doing with the chicken is called braising. Braising is a technique of cooking that you use flavored basically liquid to cook your chicken. So here's our chicken roulade. want to make sure that this is not too hot. Otherwise, you'll start introducing basically time and temperature danger zones. So you want to make sure this is nice and kind of cool. Give it a nice stir, break it down. Chicken roulade, once it's like this, open it up. If we had more time, the way that I really like to do this, and it's not a problem the way we're doing it now, but you basically would take this dish, you would tightly plastic wrap it, drop it in hot boiling water for about 10 minutes to the holes that form, and then you'll basically pan sear it. But like I said, we're trying to make this dish in less than 20 minutes. That's what we're shooting for. Take some of our smoked Cajun seasoning with a little bit of lemon on it. While this is happening, I actually had to take out the stock going in it. Have to saute the chicken real quick. So, stock is still hanging out right here. This pan is really hot. Put some oil in it. We're gonna take our chicken roulade. We're gonna take the show piece, which is this piece right here, and we're gonna put this one side down first. You hear that noise? That's what you're looking for. Check our polenta, how that's looking. It's a great time now to the polenta to add the pepper jack cheese. And let that just rest. Let steam take care of the rest. Back to this guy. As the chicken is searing, half a tablespoon of butter right in the pan. Once both sides have basically got a nice sear mark on every side, take your chicken roulade out. Let it rest. In the same pan, we're going to add our chicken stock back. While this is basically happening, take a little bit of parchment paper, cover the chicken. I always only cover about 90% of the pan, and I let the rest breathe. Taking this dish, and we're going to put it inside of our preheated oven. And there goes our foil convection ovens. Always have that problem. We're going to let it go in the oven for 10 minutes, sorry. Chef John, great question. Why the parchment paper? Parchment paper is a phenomenal cooking paper. It can actually hold a temperature almost up to 400 to 500 degrees. It keeps food nice and moist. It doesn't dry out the food. Parchment paper is a great substitute to keep basically moisture and flavor inside of food. That's why the parchment paper, chef. So now in the meantime, instead of having you guys wait for the 10 minutes, if you saw my earlier videos, I basically made dessert, which was kheer or rice pudding. We can start basically plating dessert. I know it's not dessert time, but instead of making a second video and waiting and everything, I figured start plating dessert as well. So earlier, like I said, I made kheer or rice pudding. I took the kheer, I put it inside of a mold, basically like a silver cylinder shaped mold. Just gonna start plating this. Get this ready from the plate. hard to see, but see how like a nice cylinder shape is kept. Little saffron inserts. Put this guy back inside the refrigerator. This is, like I said, dessert. Just bring you back. See how Mr. Polenta's looking. Add a little more liquid. Currently, this is at a low simmer for temperature-wise. You do not want to bring it to a boil. You do not want to keep it at a boil. The lower the heat, the better. Nice and a little creamy. One mistake a lot of chefs do that they don't hold themselves accounted for is always tasting their food. Make sure it actually has what it needs to have in it. Let's taste it for salt and pepper. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. And you don't want to add too much salt and pepper because as this keeps cooking and it keeps reducing, the flavor also keeps enhancing. So be mindful when you add your salt and pepper. Think about 25% of a pullback on your flavor profile, because like I said, it's gonna increase as it basically gets smaller in quantity. Keep it nicely covered. Chef John, the garnish for the dessert today, we're actually going to be keeping it the same as we did earlier, which is going to be basically a Cayesa cinnamon tree bark, also known as a Chinese evergreen tree. This is what we're going to use. And then I'm going to actually grab some fennel pollen as well. Both the things that I discussed earlier is going to be the garnish for basically the kheer or the rice pudding that I plated. In case you guys are wondering what the fennel pollen looks like, exactly kind of what it looks like. This is straight from Italy. Looks like it's already some loose packs in here. God, this is amazingly, it smells heavenly. So right now the chicken timer shows about 2 minutes left. I'm gonna quickly do some dishes real quick and give me about 2 minutes and I'm gonna have everything set and go. Hi Jazz.
Hey.
I'm live right now. Huh? Well, dinner's about to be ready. So the roulade's gonna need to be sliced. So before I start slicing it, make sure, like I said, always wanna have a sharp knife. We're just sharpening the knife, Chef John, for the chicken roulade as it comes out the oven. You can say hi, we're live.
Hi, I'm hungry.
I know you're hungry. It's 45 seconds left. 1 minute to rest and then plating from there.
Ta-da! Where's the chicken? Chicken is down there?
Chicken's in the oven. You can sit down.
Okay.
We're going to take the polenta. Take it off the heat. Oven timer just went off. Turn the oven off. Polenta, we're going to cover it, but we leave the ladle inside so it stays as he's still moist but coming out. We're going to pull the chicken out of the oven now. Great question, Chef John. I've always thought about writing a cookbook. So the chicken's going to be inside of it. Be very careful now when you open this. Like I said, the reason I leave this a little bit open is so the steam doesn't immediately come back and hit you in the face. Just take some of this off. And we're going to let the chicken rest for basically about a minute so it can basically get into the internal temperature. Anytime you let meat rest, it automatically rises about 10 degrees higher because of you letting it rest. Also, when you let it rest, let it be steaks, pork chops, salmon, chicken. You're basically letting the inside juices stay in place. You're not going to immediately cut it and the juices are going to run out everywhere. Having it basically on a wire rack as you cook this also helps a lot. So this is basically just going to let it rest for a minute. Pull the polenta off the stove.
Hold the camera for you?
Chicken always should be basically cooked at 165 degrees. temp it right now.
Almost there.
Temping the chicken, Chef John. I'm gonna actually reinsert the thermometer. Camera. Camera. We're gonna attempt to cut the chicken open and see what it looks like internally. Thickest part of the chicken. It's well done. It's perfectly cooked. Gonna take our dish. Give me a spoon, please. Thank you. Take some of this pepper jack polenta. We're gonna finish this off with basically some roasted garlic, olive oil. There you go, folks. Try doing a 20-minute meal, jalapeno and pepper jack polenta, chicken roulade. Chicken roulade consists of creamed spinach, garlic, and 4 kinds of cheeses. Like I said, this was the chicken stock that we were going to continue. This is going to be basically continue to be boiling. Reducing this, and then I'll strain this for future use. I need my official taster. Jazz. Voila. While she starts taking a couple of bites on that, I'm going to start plating dessert and show you how to do dessert real quick. Take a couple of bites and enjoy it first, and then let me know how you think it is. For dessert, we're going to basically take our kheer, or our basically rice pudding. I'll clean a little bit of this mess up for you guys. We're going to take a little bit of this, some of the fresh cinnamon, a little bit on the plate, a little bit on the dish. Cinnamon is on. Take some fennel pollen. And there you go, folks. You got dessert. And you got dinner. Give a review real quick on how dinner is.
It tastes awesome. It's light, creamy. Doesn't feel like something very heavy that you're eating. Probably a good dinner, which probably we should have had a little earlier. So, but really, really delicious meal. Awesome.
Well, thank you folks for tuning in. Like I said, my name is Chef Inderpal. My lovely wife, Jesseline. Appreciate you guys watching us, cooking with us. If you guys, like I said, get any questions, concerns, and have any recipes, that you need help with, let me know. Other than that, have a great evening. See you all tomorrow. Thank you. Chef John said you're an excellent food critic.
Bye-bye. Hi, John. Good night.
See you guys.